Hey everyone, it's Chantal Gerardy here from Online Business Marketing, and today I'm going to share with you the top SMS marketing tactics that you should all know about for 2025. And I'm going to say September, end of September, who can believe it, 2025. And the reason is because what I share with you now may not be relevant next month or the next month or the next month, dependent on the legislation and the sort of rules and guidelines that come out. Um, it always amazes me how spammers seem to get away with spamming, and yet good little business owners can just kind of like blur the lines a little bit and send something out, and we get whacked on the knuckles. But these spammers seem to be able to get away with it so easily. It always does blow my mind. So SMS marketing is certainly one of the most effective ways to reach customers in 2025, but it's also really good, a really easy way for you to be able to burn your leads list if not done correctly. So I'm going to go over that with you today and share with you some of the guidelines, some of the costs, some of the frequencies, the scripts, the types of funnels, the options that you have, and also case studies for service-based versus e-commerce, because we've got different ones on the call here today. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I think it's important to note that the open rate for SMS is 95%. So if you can consider that as opposed to email marketing, SMS is a much more effective way to get people to open stuff. But once they unsubscribe, you've burnt them. Like, that is it. You're done, right? So it is really, really, really important that you do the right thing. So unlike emails or social media, where messages can get buried, SMS is instant and it is personal. And it's always the channel that people check first. People check their phones first all the time. So if you use it correctly, it helps businesses fill their calendars, recover abandoned carts, and nurture loyalty without spending thousands on ads. So again, I always say this: you should not be doing paid advertising if you don't have email marketing and retargeting in place. And part of that is actually SMS as well. You can use SMS as part of that as well. And today, at the end of today's session, when I say goodbye to all the YouTube watchers, with our live audience, I'll be showing them behind the scenes of how we use High Level, our OBMHub product, and how we use that SMS in the sales process for setting reminders and appointments, and for nurturing leads, and controlling our CRM. So we'll be sharing that with you today at the end of today's session. So there are some simple guidelines here that are really important for you to understand. And that is the first thing: just like emails, you've got to get consent first. You can only send SMSs to those who've opted in. So you're not allowed to physically add them to a list. By right, they have to opt in and give you their mobile number as well. Not only that, but they've got to give you the right mobile number. We just did a Facebook ads campaign about 2 weeks ago. We got 29 leads from it, and I would say probably about a third of those people put in the wrong mobile numbers. So they might put in the right email address because they want to get the free resource, for example, but they may put in the wrong mobile number. So it does happen, right? So you just got to make sure that your offer is so desirable that people actually want to hear from you. I think that's the most important thing. I always say, if somebody wants to unsubscribe from you, but you've effectively communicated what you do, then they're not the right person for your offer anyway. So I like it when people unsubscribe. I'm like, you're not for me. But that only applies if you've 100% communicated exactly what you do, the importance of what you do, so you qualify and disqualify them. So I always say the trash takes care of itself. So consent first is obviously the most important thing. The next thing, and with consent as well, you've got to be careful with states and regions. So for example, is it Australia? Is it the US? We had that recently with Ron, with one of the things that he was doing. The system automatically put in US, whereas we're in Australia, and automatically had the states. It wouldn't allow them to put in Queensland and New South Wales. It had all the US states in it. So really important that you check that as well. The next thing is transparency. So say what they'll get. So whatever they're actually going to get, are you going to give them updates? Are you going to give them deals? Are you going to send them reminders? It is what it is. Full transparency as to what you're going to use that SMS for when you get them to opt in. The third thing is you've got to keep it short, which is under 160 characters, with a clear link. And sometimes the links are so long and big that it takes up your 160 characters, which means it's better for you to go and use a URL, like a URL shortener, like Bitly or Shortener, short URL. but it is important that you go and that you take that into consideration as well if you want them to click a link. Alternatively, you might just be directing them to their emails to go and get a link. That's another way of doing it. We have done that before as well if you want to save 160 characters. If you don't, it will be sent as 2 SMSs and you'll be charged double. Now, I know many of my friends and businesses who've done ads have been burnt with thousands and thousands of dollars of SMS bills because they did not check the character limits. So very, very important. And if you put it into ChatGPT and you've asked for 160 characters, sometimes you've got to get it to double check because sometimes it lies to you. Believe it or not, ChatGPT is not always accurate. So the frequency of those SMSs as well is you really need to keep it for a special occasion. Okay, if we're SMSing them all the time, they are going to end up unsubscribing, and once they unsubscribe, you can't SMS them again. So we don't want to upset them, but 2 to 4 times per month is ideal. Definitely it wouldn't be daily because it feels spammy, and if it's quarterly, it might get forgotten. The timing of sending those SMSs, this is really important because you don't want to be sending it at midnight because some people sleep, like for example, with their phones on. I mean, I don't, but sleep with their phones on or sleep with their phones on their bedrooms. So you don't want it to be going in the middle of the night while they're sleeping because that's going to get you an unsubscribe, right? So instead, you want to be sending it in when they're likely to be checking their phone. So, would it be between 9 to 5 in working hours? Or if they're going to be working, if your ideal client is a worker, then maybe you need to send it before 9 a.m., like between 7 and 9 a.m., or perhaps between 5 and 7 p.m. in the evening. The next part is that you always have to have an opt-out. So basically you have to say reply stop to unsubscribe. And this takes part of your 160 characters, which really annoys me. That's my biggest annoying part. My text. And then the other thing is like clarity of brand, because many times it's coming from a mobile number that's not associated with the business. So when the number comes through to the customer, for example, people might know Chantal Gerardy, they know my mobile number, but our company number, our company SMS number is a completely different number that we had to purchase. And when people get it, they don't know. So it's really important that you start with your business name or you add your name in there. So there's just a little bit of clarity of who this is coming from, because else imagine a strange number. They've got no idea who it's coming from. So for us personally, when we started SMSing, I sent out an email to my database letting them know that this is the new company SMS number so that they can expect SMSs. It's from us. Don't worry, we're not going to spam you, but this is the number that it will be coming from. And we'd be sending it out. So, and then whenever I do send it out, I go, hi, this is Chantal from Online Business Marketing. But again, think about how many characters that is. Or I have to say, hi, this is Chantal from Online Business Marketing. And then on top of it, I've got to say reply stop to unsubscribe at the end. It leaves me with very little words left. Especially if you want to be sharing a link. So yeah, I'm not going to say it's easy. You got to get quite nifty. And using ChatGPT can help, but sometimes ChatGPT can look a little bit spammy. So sometimes I like to change it a bit, and sometimes I also like to use brand relevant emojis just to make it more relevant. And as I said, if I can't fit a link in there, then I'll say check your emails for a link. All right, so overcoming the who is this objection, which I've spoken into but briefly. If they don't recognize the sender, you can always open with, hey, this is Chantal. You can also use a dedicated business number or verified sender ID. It depends where you're purchasing the number from. So for example, iNumber just as a number, it doesn't say it's coming from Online Business Marketing. And people always think that all marketers are spammy. So unfortunately, they think that we're just coming to spam them. So we've got to be careful in our communication. It's got to be value-based. But the good thing about our high-level product, OBMHub, is that it's connected to the CRM as well. So it's no more mystery text. We can actually see who's opening those tests, who's unsubscribing from those texts, and it's all in our CRM, which is kind of cool. So how much is the cost of SMS marketing? So in Australia, SMSs can cost anything from 0.07 cents to 12 cents per message. So when one 10-cent message leads to, say, $120 sale, or prevents a no-show at an event, the ROI is massive. So if you compare this with Facebook ads costing, for example, for $3 to $8 per click, an SMS is one of the low-risk, highest reward channels available when you do it correctly. All right, so here's some of the best uses for SMS marketing with some examples that I've shared. So the one is an appointment reminder. So it's, hey, Mary, your physio session, at Allied Health is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Reply yes to confirm. The result is that you're going to have fewer no-shows, more engaged clients. And if those people do cancel, it allows you to open up your appointments to serve other people. Abandoned cart recovery, so especially in e-commerce businesses. Hey, Mary, your cart at Strikehold, is still waiting. Check out today for free shipping and share a link. The result is you're going to recover sales without spending on retargeting ads. For flash sales and promotions, so for example, 48-hour sale, 20% off all services this weekend, book now with a link. The result is you're going to have a quick revenue boost and urgency-driven sales. So for example, we've got Black Friday coming up. Event reminders and links. So, hey, and we've got a webinar coming up, so this is perfect. Hey, Mary, your webinar with online business marketing starts in an hour. Here is your link. And the result is higher attendance and fewer missed opportunities. Number 5 is lead nurturing or following up. So, for example, after you've had a chat to someone, you could send an automated SMS in the sequence that says, great chatting today, here's the next step. And you can actually automate that process and send them that SMS. The result is faster conversions and warmer leads. If you've got VIP or loyalty programs, for example, you could say VIP early access, shop our new drop before anyone else does, with a link. So it builds loyalty and repeat purchases. And then order and service updates. So, hey, Mary, your order's been shipped. You can track your shipping link here, which is going to result in increased trust and customer satisfaction. So for service-based funnel example, say, for example, you are with paid advertising or organic marketing in Facebook, you're sending people to a booking page. They get to a booking page and they book. Then they get an SMS confirmation and a reminder. So the confirmation could be something like, thanks for booking, Mary. Here is your link, or here's your next step. Your reminder could be, see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. for your session. And the follow-up could be, loved meeting you today, ready to get started. Here's a link. Here, the next step link. So to close the sale. So SMS marketing, you can understand how it would be so much more efficient and proactive than email marketing if you were to actually use that for a service-based business versus sending them emails, looking inside the emails haven't been opened. So for example, we might invoice somebody from Xero and the Xero invoices always go to spam. So I always will send an SMS and I'll go, hey, we've sent you an invoice, please check your spam folder. So we find that our sales get closed a lot quicker because we've directed them to the fact that it's hiding in spam. Okay, so let's go over an e-commerce funnel example. So for example, if somebody opts in for a discount, so say for example, it says, put in your email address to get 5% off your first product. Then there's an abandoned cart, so they add it to the cart, but they haven't actually processed the transaction. They could get an SMS that says, hey, welcome, thanks for joining. Here's your 10% coupon code, shop now. They could get an abandoned cart SMS that says, hey, Mary, your cart is still waiting. Check out today for free shipping or whatever your offer is. Or for a VIP club, you could say VIPs only, new arrivals are now live. Grab yours here before they sell out. So how do you get started with SMS marketing? Well, firstly, you've got to be able to pick your platform. And I'll go through a couple of other platforms. Obviously, we use OBMHub. OBMHub makes it easy to send, track, and automate SMSs as part of your CRM. You've got to collect numbers legally. So you've got to work out where am I actually on my opt-ins, so on my lead funnels, on my events submissions, or on my lead magnet submissions. Are you going to put in now a new part where they've actually a required field that they've actually got to put in their SMS, put in their mobile number there so you can send them an SMS. Something we did recently as well is we sent an email out to everyone who we didn't have an SMS, who we didn't have a mobile number for. And we said to them, hey, we're going to be sending out some special things. Can you please update your SMS for us? And I think we only had about 5 people who did that, but we were going to be doing it periodically again and again, just asking people to please give us their mobile number if we don't have it, or update their details. So yeah, we just got to make sure that you collecting those numbers legally. The third thing is you've got to segment your audience. So you want to send the right message to the right group. So for example, we separate ours into clients and we separate them into leads. So for example, I might send an SMS out to clients to say that I'm going away to Bali for 2 weeks to do a certification, which means I'm going to be away. Make sure you book your sessions. I'll see you in 2 weeks when I'm back. Or alternatively, I can then send an SMS to clients to say, hey, listen, Joe's available right now to answer any of your questions. Should you be interested in an online marketing strategy and implementation plan? But you want to make sure that everything is segmented. The other issue that we had recently is that the telephone number that we have at the moment is we're only allowed to SMS Australians. Now, I have mostly Australians, but I've got a lot of New Zealanders, and I've also got a few United States numbers as well. So our next thing is looking at how can we get a number now that we can SMS to those people, because else we can't actually SMS to them. Writing clear scripts, can't say it enough. It's always got to be short. It's always got to be branded, and it's got to be action driven and no more than 160 characters. Good luck. And then you've got to test and refine. So you've got to track your ROI, your conversions, your bookings, your sales. So for us, for example, we sent one on Friday afternoon, and I cannot tell you how many times I've said, let's not send one on a Friday afternoon, because it means I've got to wait until Monday afternoon to get the results. My team give me the results on Monday afternoon. I know it's only 2 days, but I get FOMO, and I want to know how many people actually booked a call based on what we sent out on Friday. So you need to be tracking and going what days, what times, and what type of content seems to do better. All right, so some of the other SMS providers that you can use, there is Burst SMS, MessageMedia, ClickSend, and SMS Broadcast. However, as I said, with our high-level product, OBMHub, we can do it all in one platform. And my 2IC Joe, who's in South Africa, she literally sits on a computer, and on the computer, she can talk to customers, she can SMS customers, she can email customers, and she can see what everybody's doing, which makes it incredibly easy for all of us. And the live audience, I'm going to show you soon how that all works. Okay, so SMS is not about blasting promotions. It's about meaningful, timely communication that will earn trust and drive results. The messages cost money, and you do get the highest engagement out of it, but we have to make sure that we don't burn our leads by annoying them and getting them to unsubscribe. SMS marketing works absolutely seamlessly with email marketing. So for example, if we've got like a webinar campaign right now where we're getting people to sign up for a webinar, we look at our organic strategy, our ad strategy, our email strategy, but we also look at what our SMS strategy is going to be. And that is for signups, for show ups, and then for follow-ups. So there's 3 segments of that. And that's how we do it. And that's so that we don't let anything slip through the cracks. All right, so for those of you watching on YouTube, if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe and you click the little bell and turn on those notifications so that you get our updates. If you'd like to be part of the live audience, please check in the description below, and you can find out how. If you're interested in OBMHub as well, just flick us a message and we can send you some details or a coupon code. I'll say goodbye to those watching on YouTube, and I'm going to show everyone else behind the scenes of OBMHub now how the SMS works.